Hello everybody and welcome back to Buried. I did finish this game, but I'm going to try to shoot for a different ending. Um, Not sure. I'm just going to do stuff that I haven't done before. Hopefully I get a good ending. I'm going to try my hardest to keep Dennis alive this time, and Amy. Amy is the least important, but definitely keep Dennis alive. Alright, I'm just going to fast forward to the spots where there's different stuff. Alright, I'm going to take the hard hat again. I just can't risk, because I want a good ending, and I think doing all the bad things isn't gonna help. There's just a couple bad things that I did do, and that's the problem, that I didn't get it right. I get up, yeah, that's all happened before. All right, I'll catch you guys in a bit. Where the hell is everyone? I could try to make a call myself, but its battery's already running pretty low. Not that it matters. Reception's crap here. I'm not. I'm not gonna call anyone on the cell, because when I did, my phone went dead. Hey guys, where is everyone? Tony, Dennis, Frank, Joe! But their names fell flat among the wreckage. I get nothing back other than scaring away a few birds overhead. I'm gonna yell out at them to frickin' scare the shit out of them. Dennis! Dennis, can you hear me? Dennis lets out a shout like someone waking from a nightmare. He then looks back at me from the ground. Yeah, Roger, I hear you. He hollers back as I head over to him. Don't mention Tony. I'm not going to mention Tony. See what happens. It's good to find someone else, I say. I don't think I need to bring up Tony quite yet. The two of them were close, almost like brothers. He'd take it hard. Yeah, he says. I think you're exaggerating, Dennis. You think I'm making this up? You think I got whacked on the head and started seeing things? Dennis asks. No, Dennis, it's just... Get the hell away from me. I don't need this. Get away from me. Oh, shit. Dennis, come on. Look, the highway's more than a mile away, and we could be fine. Let's get moving. Just keep your distance. We both stand and start heading towards the road. It isn't until we start moving that I see Dennis is wounded. How'd you get that injury? What do you care? He snaps. Oh shit, I shouldn't said that. He clearly still resents me for not believing his whole story, but what happened to him? Maybe it was being thrown by whatever that explosion was. It's then that I noticed a strange ringing noise is still filling the air. Hey, I say, stopping. Do you hear that high-pitched ringing noise every once in a while? Oh, whatever. We'll be okay, it's probably nothing. Let's be realistic, I tell myself. I might as well try to be empathetic. Out here in the middle of these woods, the ring could be anything. Maybe a car. Yeah, he's read that. It's hard to remember what exactly I've already read, because I played this like a couple weeks ago. Well, not a couple weeks. Like, almost a week ago. Agreed, let's get away from here. You decide to avoid the sound. With that, we turn and start walking to the west in the direction that I'm pretty certain leads to the road. It's sort of embarrassing. I have been a logger for nearly 15 years, but I'm finding it uneasy to get lost in these woods. The trees are so thick in places that this moonlight doesn't even reach the ground. It's easy to get turned around. My only hope is that I can find the overgrown dirt road that will lead us back to the highway. You sure we're headed the right way? Dennis asks. Pretty sure, I say. I turn to him and see that he's clearly in pain. It's at this moment that we come upon another one of those smooth holes. This one is even stranger because the nearby tree also has a chunk cut out of it. The arc goes smoothly through the ground and then up through the trunk like a cartoon wrecking ball blasted through both of them. What the hell are these things? Dennis whispers to himself. Wait, what the hell are these things? He takes a step down into the hole, his boots creating imperfections in the shape, like footprints on a sand dune. I'm gonna step down into it. Whatever. It's the first chapter. There's no danger. Take a step down with Dennis into the hole, if that's even what you would call it. As I stoop down to examine it, I'm amazed at how smooth it is. Even rocks that were under the earth have been sheared to fit the spherical shape. It's then that I feel the ground beneath my feet start to sag. By the time I'm aware of what's happening, the ground is giving way and I'm falling. I cry out in surprise and can barely hear Dennis letting out a curse as we go down into the earth. Oh shit. Dang, I didn't even know this was an option to go this way. This is definitely new, guys. The fall isn't a long one, but when I hit something a few seconds later, it hurts like hell. The wind goes rushing out of me when I hit, and a sharp pain flies through me. What the hell? I say once my breath is back. Beside me, Dennis is slowly rolling over to get to his feet. I look up and see the hole in the ground we fell through. It looks to be about 10 feet over our heads. It's completely dark, but there's a small flicker of light further into the cave ahead of us and a solid wall of rock behind us. Looks like the only ways out are further down the cave or up through the way we fell in. Dennis might be able to boost me up there, but with his injury I'm not sure how stable he is. He might drop me. Try to climb out. I'll try to climb out, but I kind of want to go in the cave. You think you could hoist me up there? I asked Dennis. Sure, he still looks out of sorts, but he weighs at least 30 pounds more than me. I'd have a hard time trying to lift him. We can try, he says. He drops to one knee and cups his hands together, making a small platform. I step into it, and he lifts me as well as he can. When I am off of the ground, his other hand comes up and catches me by the waist, then both of his hands are on my waist. Ooh, Dennis. He gets me up and I'm able to just barely grab onto the edge of the hole. I feel the grass on my fingers and the dirt in my fingernails. But the moment I'm about to pull myself up, the ground beneath my hands gives way and I go falling. Shit. I strike Dennis on the way down and we both go to the ground in a heap. I feel my ankle twist in the fall and it instantly starts pulsing in pain as I get to my feet. Shit. It was a dumb idea anyway, Dennis said, slightly annoyed. Looks like we're going that way, I say as I nurse my ankle and point towards the light. As we turn to head into the cave, I take a closer look at the light further ahead and realize it's artificial. Artificial? We both start heading towards it instinctively. As we step into the light, panic gently gnaws at me because what I'm seeing makes absolutely no sense. It's no longer a cave or a hole, it's a long, sparsely lit corridor. Did we? We did! So apparently the cave led to this building, so instead of seeing the building outside, we just fell right into it. What the hell do you care? Dennis spits at me. Why start caring about me or the other guys on the crew now? I can still hear the ringing noise every so often coming from somewhere in here. Let's pause to give him a break. How about that? Let's take a break, I say, putting my hand towards his shoulder to help steady him. Leave me alone, he says, pushing me away. He's still angry, but also scared, something I understand. So we keep walking. Despite his animosity, Dennis clearly allows me to take the lead as we venture further down. As we do, my mind seems to lock in on the unknown fate of the rest of the crew. That's crazy. All because I didn't believe his story. He doesn't want to take a break. Let's go to the darkness. Because we went to the left last time, so let's go into the darkness. If there's anyone here they're worth speaking to, right it is. I do not like that darkness. It's not completely dark, but it's still pretty damn scary. As we leave the glow of electric lights, things instantly start to feel a bit more sinister. I look at Dennis's injuries again. The gash along his side is inflamed now, and while the bleeding seems to have stopped, the amount that is sucked into his pants and shirt is beyond alarming. How much further can you walk? I ask him. Can you keep going? Yeah, Dennis says. Let's walk into the deep, dark tunnel that has no business being here. He's right. The darkness we find ourselves in, it feels sick, like walking in syrup. I am reminded of the fear I felt as a child when I had to go into the basement to fetch tools for my dad. I was sure there were snakes or spiders or monsters of unimaginable horror lurking down there. I feel that same way here, walking through the tunnel. That's when I see a human figure, far back in the tunnel, silhouetted in the faint light at the end. He's standing on some other platform up ahead and likely can't see us. It looks like he might be holding a gun, but it's too dark to be sure. I'm gonna stay quiet, because if I freaking shout, he's gonna shoot me. I'm pretty sure it's Marcus, by the way. This person might be dangerous. Dennis, don't move, be quiet. We both watch as the figure looks back and forth down the tunnel. It's unclear if he's looking for something or if he just has lost. Or if he is just as lost as we are. But he can't see us in the dark, and after a moment the figure rushes away through the door. Through a door. Why didn't you say anything? Dennis asked with a disgusted tone. Maybe we could have gotten some answers. I don't want to reveal ourselves to anyone who looks like they might have a gun until I know more about where we are, I reply. Smart decision. Oh shit, my arm's bleeding. Oh well. Didn't even realize it was bleeding. Oh, this place. So I guess it just loops back. Okay. As we head further in the tunnel, we reach another platform. There's light coming from the platform, but like the overhead lights, they are dim red emergency lights. Okay, I've already read all this. It's okay, take it easy, you can do this. I've reached... wait. It's at this point that I realize those red emergency lights might be on for someone else who's actually supposed to be here. Like that guy I saw earlier. Right in front of us there's an entrance to a long hallway exiting the platform area. No, I'm gonna stay quiet. God. I don't think that was an option earlier. I'm still not sure if I want to alert him to the fact that they're strangers in this secret place. Oh yeah, I think it was from earlier. I'm gonna enter the lab because we entered the conference room last time. This is a small ass lab. Okay. Walking inside, I see small vials and glass containers held in a clear glass case. Everything is either glass or silver, and I instantly feel like I am dirtying the place up. I notice several test tubes and glass cases, as well as some sort of tube system that seems to have a clear fluid trapped inside of it. In the back corner, I find a laptop in screensaver mode. Look at the test tubes. I can't help but check out the test tubes. They're all filled with varying green and light blue fluids. One of them looks to have some sort of glowing dirt resting in the bottom of it. Another holds what looks like a grasshopper submerged in liquid, only it's the strangest grasshopper I've ever seen. At first it looks like it's expanding and contracting like a blowfish. Then it contracts so much that it vanishes completely. As I look closer, it springs back into existence in a completely different test tube as I'm embarrassed when I actually jump back. I see a laptop sitting on one of the workstations and wonder if it's worth checking out. Yeah, let's look at it. I hit the enter key and a plain gray background pops up. There are several icons and folders to choose from. Why don't you put a password on your computer, dude? I click on a folder labeled Test 1.5 Ethos. A few documents are full of formulas and names I mostly don't understand, but there's some things that were easy to understand, things that make my blood go cold. Subject 6 cause of death, embolism, or aneurysm. I take another look around the lab, trying to piece together what might have been taking place here. I smell some sort of chemical in the air, and it makes me think that someone has used this lab recently. Outside in the hallway, I hear Dennis grunting. I head out of the room to see him, still seated on the floor. Alright, here comes Marcus. So it was pretty much the exact same in this room, except the test tubes. I'm gonna put my hands up in the air. I don't want to get shot. I'm already pretty banged up with my ankle. Some of these decisions I will be doing. We're nobody, don't shoot us. Some of these decisions I'll be doing from my last playthrough, some of them I'll be changing my decision. Based on what it is. As long as you don't give me a reason, I won't, the man says. But until I know I can trust you, this barrel is going to stay aimed right where it is. Someone knocked the power out, the man says. It's back on now, but if it was out long enough, well, we're in a heap of trouble. Alright. No, just us. Don't freak him out. The man looks me up and down, trying to tell if I'm lying. I am lying. What happened before you came here, he asks. No clue, I say. I open my eyes on the ground and don't remember anything. Yeah, I'm the president. The armed man looks as if someone has slapped him. You think I'm playing? He asks, jabbing with the barrel of the gun. You think I won't blow your head off? Still, his grip on the gun is as tight as ever. The look on his face makes me think he'll shoot at any moment. Grab fire extinguisher and come back. I take the chance, dashing for the extinguisher, but my absence gives the man enough time to pop Dennis on the side of the head with the... I hope Dennis isn't dead. As I hear Dennis wail of pain, I rip the extinguisher from the wall and instantly lift it over my head. The man realizes what I'm doing as I come barreling across the room, but he's too late. I bring the extinguisher down quick. He doesn't have time to adjust the rifle for a clear shot. All he can do is partially block the blow, which he does poorly. I hit him between the neck and shoulder along his right side. He hollers out and falls awkwardly to the floor. There's a dazed look on his face, and I wonder if I maybe knocked him out for a moment. He still holds the gun, but his hands are limp. I feel the extinguisher heavy in my grip. I could hit him again to make sure he won't be a threat. Keep hitting him, so he doesn't freaking kick me in the face. He kept hitting the man after he was down. I'm not a violent person by nature, so drawing the extinguisher back a second time feels almost sickening. This only increases when I strike him along the side of his face. Roger, Dennis yells, what are you doing? He's defenseless now. I pull back at the last moment, taking some of the force out of it, but there's still a degree of damage done. The right side of his cheek is split open, the skin peeling back, letting out a steady flow of blood. Dennis grabs the rifle and instantly hands it over to me. I take it with shaking hands. Peer into the open vault. I peer over Marcus' shoulder into the vault he's opened. It's much larger than it looks from the outside. It's partially filled with file folders marked classified, a few rounds of ammo for a rifle, the peculiar plastic kit filled with syringes, and a locked black box. As Marcus digs around, one of the folders slips open. For a split second, it's open. I see a second document and a color photo. The photo shows a male corpse with its guts on the outside of its body, as if it has been turned inside out. Ew. There's also massive swelling on his head, almost like his skull is about to explode. Marcus slaps the folder closed, and I turn my attention to one of the syringes. It's filled with a violet-colored fluid that, while rather pretty in color, looks deadly. Marcus finally pulls out the first aid kit and turns around. I'm gonna pull it off gently. You decide to pull off Dennis' shirt gently. I lift the shirt off gently and makes a sucking sound. Ew, like a freaking octopus. There's so much blood that the moisture tries to keep the shirt pulled to him. Dennis lets out a little moan. He seems to relax and inspires others. I'm sorry, guys. Whenever I see or read or hear the word moan, I don't think of ouch kind of moan. With the shirt fully removed, the extent of his injuries becomes more clear. Who is that? My eyes follow his, and when I see what's in the monitor, my heart pounds on my chest. Hey boss, who is that? Oh shit. Dennis says, his voice flat and toneless. He stands up and is now looking blankly at one of the monitors. Yeah, he saw the body. Guilt slams into me like a bolt between the eyes. In my panic and fear, I'd avoided even trying to pull him out. More than that, I still haven't told Dennis. Holy shit, he says, looking closer. It's Tony. He's dead. Dennis looks like he's just been punched in the stomach. He looks at me, unbelieving. Did you know? No, I'm not gonna piss Dennis off. Bullshit! When you walked up to me in the woods, you came from the dozer area. You had to have seen him. His leg was sticking out, not his whole body. I wasn't over there, Dennis cuts me off, not buying it. You knew Tony was dead this whole time and didn't tell me. This whole time! He stands up and lunges at me, but is too weak. I take a step back, avoiding his advance. What good would it have done? You'd still be hurt and we'd still be here anyway. I didn't want to add more to your plate. He only glares at me, and I think I see some sort of dual understanding in his eyes. There's no winning with Dennis, guys. I'm sorry, I should have told you. Well, maybe you could have realized that, I don't know, before waiting God knows how many hours. God knows how many hours? You've only been playing this game for like 40 minutes, I don't know. His shout rings in the small room, and all I can do is look at the floor. This guy was practically my best. Was practically my best. He stops talking, then I can tell he's stifling a sob. I'm sorry, Dennis, I start. About Tony, about not telling you, Just go check out who that person might be, he says, cutting me off. Yeah, we're talking to Amy. I'm gonna try to get her not to say that this is mostly her fault, so that it doesn't piss off Marcus, so that Marcus doesn't try to kill her. Because I don't want to give the gun to Marcus, but I'm afraid if I don't, he's still gonna attack Amy, you know? Did you ever perfect it? I'm gonna avoid any questions that relate to the current situation. Well, about 6 months ago, we successfully made that same experiment. The rat arrived in great health, and this time in just 3 seconds. Yeah, that's old. Transported? Yeah. Deconstructed and translated through space is the only way we know how to do it right now. But the issue, as I said, comes in keeping the deconstructed subject on a straight course to its destination. When the process occurs, we are deforming space-time. We are creating a shortcut through space, and that has risks. Why exactly, Dennis asks. Because there are many more dimensions in space than the 3 we exist on, she explains. There's some evidence that there are as many as 10. So when you send the rat to New Mexico, it's traveling through another dimension to get here? Basically, and because of that, we were trying to get a better understanding of what those other dimensions are capable of. Yeah, I think I've read this. If not, I apologize. What have you seen in these dimensions? Once again, I'm going to avoid the current situation. Other worlds, other tag-mark universes where our laws of nature don't apply, she says, not bothering to explain what that means. I'm not cleared for such things, but I do get the reports. I'm given access to the results of the test. In other words, you guys have been peeking into other dimensions, taking notes on what you see. You people are insane. You weren't impressed by Amy's work. Why do you think this place is such a secret? Amy says. Why do you think it's so well hidden? She's right, Marcus says. There are things that take place here that make sci-fi movies look like a kid's TV show. I shake my head. It's then that I realize that it's not that I don't believe them. It's that I'm trying my hardest to convince myself that they are insane. Marcus, on the other hand, is incredulous. I don't want anything to do with this, he says. All this time I've been working for... Yeah, that was cruel, and the sound of it makes my blood go cold for a moment. Well, what did you think was going on here, man? Alright, we're on the 3rd floor, where all the monsters are. Should I shut the door this time? I don't know. Yeah, I'll shut the door. Like everything was built for utility only, but more noticeable than that is all the blood. Yeah. I'll go first, stay behind me. No, Amy, you take the lead. I want Amy to live too, but I care more about Dennis, guys. The 4 of us start walking ahead, Amy taking the lead. We stop walking when we come to the remains of what looks to be 3 different people. It's hard to tell any bodies there are because they have been torn to shreds and are distorted. I've already seen this. Keep moving. We don't want to waste time. It's simply too much. Worse than that is the fact that we have just started our journey through level 3. If there is worse waiting up ahead, I don't think I'm going to be able to make it. Alright. What in the hell could do that to someone, he asks. The things I saw, Amy answers. They could do it pretty easily, I think. Yeah. Yeah, let's go. Don't look around some more. Don't waste time. We leave the grisly sight behind, moving into another equally destroyed area. From what I can tell, the next room was once an open area for experimentation. Yeah. Did you see how these people died? Dang, I was supposed to ask the Girders question. I only caught a glimpse of it, she says, taking a deep breath. I was close to the exit, so I just started running. Yeah. Because you're a frickin' wimp. Anything between us and them? Not really, she says. None of the hallways are blocked off by security doors. Everyone seems to take this as the cue to start moving again. Yeah. Can you kill these things? I don't know, Amy says. Dennis speaks up, his voice like ice, and that's all I ask her. I'm sorry that I can't remember like all the decisions I made. I'm trying to do the decisions that I haven't made. Unless they're obviously gonna be bad. But yeah. Yeah, we already read the small utility hallway, well lit, yeah. The blood on the pipe. Freaking creepy. Can we talk about something else? Like how my ex-husband was right when he said my job would kill me? Amy asked before letting out a near hysterical giggle. She says that later on, but not in that kind of way. Because I keep hearing him in my head. I mean, I'm sure he didn't imagine this exact scenario, but still. Heavy. Come assert to Dennis. I'd really like to just find Barksdale, I comment. I start to walk forward, hoping to break them out of their discussion. As we make our way to the hangar doors, another high-pitched noise rings out, angrier now. I have to do something to slow those things down. Let's keep moving to the hangar. I don't really think the hydraulic doors are going to do anything, honestly. I mean, I know they do, but I don't really think it's going to affect the store too much. No, I say to the group, with all the carnage back there, I doubt we could stop them. That's what I'm saying, Marcus agrees. Let's haul ass. Amy tries to speak up, but the rest of us are already running down the hallway. I speed towards the hangar doors, not even looking back to see how far Amy has fallen behind us. Panic and hope are fighting within me, and I can't stop myself from sprinting. The fact that yet another shrill noise sounds like elsewhere in the facility is not calming. I'm gonna give Marcus the gun, guys. Fuck me in the ass if this was a bad decision. Marcus on the floor with Amy pinned beneath him. Oh, he hasn't killed her yet. He has his rifle at her throat, pushing her down to the floor, choking her with it. His face is turning purple. Her face is turning purple, and her eyes look like they might pop out of her head. Marcus sees me coming out of the hallway, but acts as if what he's doing is perfectly normal. Stop him, duh! I start rushing towards him before I really know what I'm doing. I bring my fist down in a hard arc across the bridge of his nose, and am rewarded with a sick cracking sound. He cries out as he falls to the ground, looking at me as if he doesn't understand why I punched him. Good, Amy's still alive. On the floor, Amy clutches at her neck and gasps for breath. I start to fear that I was a moment too late just as I see that the rifle has been thrown across the floor. Marcus seems to notice this at the exact moment that I do. Go for the rifle? I hit Marcus last time, I'm pretty sure. We both go for the rifle at once. He takes a single stumbling step towards it, wobbling a bit from my punch. I dive for it. When I hit the floor, it feels like I'm a baseball player trying to steal third. Our hands both fall on it, but when I yank it away, he manages to kick me, knocking the rifle to the floor again. The kick catches me squarely in my ribs, knocking the breath out of me. What the hell are you doing? He yells at me. By killing her, I'm saving us, all of us. Yeah, this is old. He wanted to kill her quietly, and then what? Would he have done the same to Dennis and me? Yeah. He probably would have. Force muzzle towards Dennis, not the tanks. I don't want to kill all of us. I grunt as I push the muzzle to point towards his face, realizing he's literally looking down the barrel of the gun. Marcus ducks his head out of the way. Yeah. I'm gonna shoot him, I think. I react before thinking. My muscles take over, my finger squeezes the trigger. The blast is deafening as I watch Marcus fall to the floor. A terrifying thought races through my mind. If some of those things are here, and they didn't know where we were before, they sure as hell know now. Marcus falls to the floor, and I see right away that I shot him in the shoulder. His right arm dangles loosely, already covered in blood. He roars in pain on the floor. Only at the few moments I realize that they are not purely screams of pain. Oh yeah. I don't remember if I shot him last time or not. Kill Marcus. Yeah, let's kill Marcus, guys. Let's kill him. You decide to kill Marcus. I aim for his head and start to squeeze the trigger, but I can't complete the motion while I'm looking at him. I close my eyes tight and squeeze the trigger. The muzzle bursts and I hear Marcus crumple onto the floor. Marcus is dead. It's not for another 10 seconds so that I realize I've been standing still, frozen, my eyes closed, my teeth clenched. I try to avoid looking at Marcus's body and instead lean down to Amy. You okay? I ask. She nods slowly. Have to go, she says, her voice raspy. They'll be here any minute. Too much noise. Alright. So Marcus won't cause any problems now. That's good. He won't be shooting at us anymore. We'll be fine. Don't say anything, whatever. We both keep our eyes fixed straight ahead, better to stay focused. We finally come to the elevator at the end of the row of silos. Alright, the monsters are coming towards us. Hide inside the elevator. Amy and I slide ourselves up against the sides of the elevator, trying to avoid being seen. But I can't help peeking around the corner. Fuck, dude, don't peek around the corner. You're hiding for a reason. I hold the rifle steady, ready to fire, and that's when I see them in a clear light for the first time. I've already read this. Don't shoot, save ammo. You decide to conserve your ammo. They keep advancing, even though I know the doors may not close in time. I manage to keep my cool and avoid firing off any more rounds. My finger itches to pull the trigger, but I resist. I'm not even sure if the gun would affect them. Finally, the elevator door closes. See? Saved ammo. Alright. End of chapter 3. There we go. I just still wonder if I could have somehow got Marcus out of this facility alive. But I don't think so, because we end up leaving him behind, I think. The ride up the elevator is tense. I take a series of deep breaths, doing everything I can to stay in control. Amy's gotten back to her feet, but her head is pressed against the elevator wall. She suppresses a series of sobs. Yeah, that's old. My arm's still bloody, guys. I killed Marcus, I say, the thought feeling like jumping into cold water. Had you ever killed anyone before? Amy asks. No. He was going to kill me, she says. I'm sure of it. Probably. Well, thank you, she says, but her tone is unsteady and her face is unreadable. I still can't believe I did it. This is new conversation. I like this. I can't even imagine, she says. She then looks to me and asks, all of that, it really happened, right? I can only nod because I can feel some of her disbelief trying to sneak into me, almost like it's contagious. Then let's get moving. I don't need to know what happens in 20 minutes. Distract the monster and run. Like, I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna tiptoe on the way back. Hide and escape quietly. When I get back, the doors aren't even gonna be open yet anyways. I take care to stay silent, twisting myself through some more pipes and making my way back towards the door I entered through. The creature doesn't seem to pick up on this. I see it's glowing back as I come around. It lets out a static scream that makes my insides feel like jelly. Turn away? I don't know. I could stand here and use my last 4 shots, but what good would that do? So instead I turn to face the hangar doors. How much longer before you can open these things? Not long, she says, furiously typing into the terminal as commands flood the screen. Try to grab the creature. It's not gonna kill me. I'm the main character. I try to grapple with the creature, but it feels very different from my struggle with Marcus earlier. It's not easily grabbed. My fingers slide through the parts of it, some parts like a ghost, others like a jellyfish. Touching it burns my hands, but only slightly. When I realize I can't grip it, I quickly spring away and turn to face it. I'm gonna take the shotgun this time, guys. Beside me, Dennis also fires. The kick of the gun jolts him, probably a result of him being weakened from the blood loss. His shot lands true, though, causing a jerking stumble and a flickering of its light. We're almost in, Amy yells as we get close to the doorway, hope will save us. I'm gonna tell them to go first, because I dashed in last time, and that got me in trouble. Dennis, no, push him out of the way. I almost messed that up. I try to dash towards Dennis to push him out of the way, but there's not enough time. I have to save Dennis, guys. If I don't save Dennis, I'm gonna scream. The creature jerks out of existence and then reappears right behind him. By the time Dennis turns and sees the creature coming in, has already drawn several of its appendages back to strike. Shoot his hand off. Shoot off Dennis's hand! Shoot it off! He decided to take Dennis's hand to save him. If I don't take the shot while I have it, they're going to kill him. In a last-ditch effort, I try to getting a good shot in the monster, but there's none. I'll hurt Dennis even worse if I try. I take aim and fire off a shot. The shot lands perfectly and results in a lot of blood. It screams from both Dennis and the creature. Dennis's hand disappears into a spray of red, and the monster's appendage simply fades away. It literally seems to wink out of existence. The creature screeches while Dennis hits the floor, wailing in pain. The reality of what I have done sets in and nearly paralyzes me. Get him, Amy says, I'll cover you. I nod, still reeling from the sight of what I've done to Dennis. I stumble out of the door. Amy's true to her word. She fires off a few rounds into the approaching monsters as I make it to Dennis. I grab a hold of him with my good arm. I drag him backwards as fast as I can, nearly falling down in the process. When I reach the doorway, Amy reaches down and helps me drag his body the final few feet into the room. She manages to pull off another shot. When I look to see what she has hit, I see another dozen or so of the monsters. Dennis is writhing in pain, and when he looks up to me, he's sneering. You crazy asshole! He screams. God, there's no winning with Dennis, guys! He shudders violently, sweat and tears coursing down his pale face. Amy slams the door behind us. Finally, we are inside of the room, hopefully safe within what looks to be an isolation chamber of sorts. Alright, Dennis looks like a walking corpse, and I do everything in my power to not let this show in my expression. His face is in a grimace. He shouts at me, "To hell with you! What were you thinking?" Blood pools on the floor below wherever he holds his arm. Dennis, if you only knew that I could read the future, and that I saved your life. I say nothing. It's all too much. My brain feels like jelly. We need to get him some help or he's going to bleed to death, Amy says. Cover my ears. I clap my hands over my ears just in time to protect my hearing from a deafening blast. I'm still bleeding and the sudden movement to cover my ears makes me feel dizzy. Dennis clumsily covers one ear with his hand and one ear with his bandaged arm. When I see the shape he's in, I get myself in check. Compared to Dennis, I'm in tip-top shape. I did that. I took the shot that took his hand off. I need to make all of that mean something. More bursts of a loud explosive noise start ringing out. Looking through the peephole again, I see the core wound on the beast explodes. Wait, no. Okay, she looks close at Dennis, looking at him, licking him over with precise care and attention. You're not in the best shape. He responds in a grunt. Seriously, I can fix you up, but only temporarily. You need intensive care for that arm. First things first, though. Strickland pours liquid over his maimed arm and starts stitching. She then wraps his arm with 3 entire spools of gauze. Blood shows through right away. That's the best I can do for now, she tells him, giving him a sympathetic frown. Why would you give him a frown? God. I could care less, Dennis mutters. I'm a cripple. Do whatever you want, as though it matters. Why haven't you hit the switch already? I'm trying to see if I can save Strickland, but I'm probably not going to be able to. The aloof way this asshole is talking to us is getting under my skin. A guy named Marcus that works on the first floor from IT, Amy says. That's all I know for sure. Marcus Papscott. Where is he? He was killed by those things. You lied about how Marcus was killed. I try not to let my eyes shift and give away my lie. Oh, Barksdale says. I see. Barksdale seems to think about something and then looks directly at me. To hell with him. Amy agrees. Where's the switch located? She asks. Aw, Chicken's dead. Dennis seems to not quite know what's going on, but luckily Barksdale isn't paying attention to him. See, and there's a freaking hint right there. A freaking gray. Oh no, the gray one is a gray can. A gray barrel with blood on it is a hint that you shouldn't shoot that one. All three of us run out as fast as we can through the rows of barrels. Right away, though, his gunfire. Yeah. Peering around the barrel closest to me, I can see Dennis. He's crawling slowly on the floor, 2 rows away from me. Seeing him move so slowly, I can't imagine how he's finding the strength to do even that. Stop this nonsense, Barksdale yells at us. I've got a good mind to shoot the fuel and kill all of you. As then I realize that not getting away from these barrels may be our death sentence. Tell them to get away. You should be the last priority, man. Before I can do anything, a shot comes from the isolation chamber. It's immediately followed by a pinging sound and a massive wall of heat. I feel the heat before I can feel the force of the explosion. It occurs several rows ahead of me, and I can still feel the physical push of it. I hear Dennis scream and then the clanging of metal. That's when another barrel explodes, and then another. I realize I could run back and help, or try to get myself clear. I might not have enough time to do either before the next round of eruptions, which... Run back to help Dennis and Amy, duh. This is new. This was not in the last playthrough. He didn't shoot the barrels. Like, Barksdale didn't shoot the barrels in the last playthrough. My instinct to help overcomes my instinct to survive. If I don't help them now, the exploding barrels will leave Dennis and Amy as good as dead. Yeah, I've come too far to let them die again. I turn and start heading their way, but I'm not quick enough. Another barrel blows up between us and throws me back across the hangar floor. My face and arms scream with the unimaginable pain of deep burns as I'm lifted from the ground and tossed forward by the explosion. I slowly muscle myself up off the ground and try to regain my footing. My entire body feels sore, begging me to just stop. When I look back for Dennis and Amy, the scene is not promising. Neither of them seems to be able to move on their own. Dennis is lying flat on his face, unmoving. Amy is about 20 feet away from him. She's wailing and planing, clutching her leg. Behind them, I can see Barksdale looking for a shot through the fire and evaporated liquid nitrogen. I fire off a single shot just to get him to duck back down. I look back out to Dennis and Amy and see the fire nearing the fuel barrels. I can maybe keep Barksdale pinned down long enough to pick them up one by one and help them walk to the elevators, but more barrels could blow any minute. Help Dennis first! Fuck yeah! Help Dennis first! Dennis is way more important. I take a deep breath and sprint back out into the open among the fire and the heat. Right away I start taking blind shots at Barksdale. It fires back only once and the shot goes off into the growing flames around me. I take one more shot and then reach down for Dennis. He's basically dead weight at this point. He's almost too heavy for me, but I manage to get him to his feet. He's almost too heavy for me, and my wounded shoulder screams in pain as I get him to his feet. I don't know why you repeated that. I drag him back, narrowly avoiding the fire and death. I try shooting at Barksdale, but trying to aim the gun while carrying Dennis proves to be too much. Barksdale gets a single shot off as we round the corner to where the elevator waits. I set Dennis down, and he's still unresponsive. Drenched in sweat, I wheel around and head back out to get Amy. I only make it a single step before I see her. I open my mouth to call to her, but an explosion right beside her cuts me off. She is shoved hard to the left from the forced explosion. I run to help, but Barksdale's firing again at me. I give Amy one last regretful look and then rush back to the elevator and Dennis. My nerves are drenched in fear and adrenaline. When I reach out to press the call button on the elevator, it feels like I'm watching someone else do it. As Dennis and I step inside, the motors of the elevator squeal like dying dogs. It's an old service elevator made of wood and metal, like something from a coal mine. As the elevator slides down, the light from the flames give way to the complete blackness, and now it's just me and Dennis once again. That sucks! Okay? Barksdale didn't shoot the canisters in the last playthrough. It gave me the option to shoot the yellow or the gray ones, but here it didn't give me the option at all, so Amy died. And it was better to save Dennis, because I don't want Dennis to die. I want Dennis to get to the end, which he probably isn't going to. The game's probably not... There's probably no way to get him to the end. I don't know. I lose track of how long the elevator descends. It's hard to tell due to the lack of lighting, but it must go another 500 feet on the ground. Yeah, yeah. Head through the tunnel. I don't care about the notices. There's no time. That switch down the tunnel and it has to be flipped no matter what. Suddenly I feel the effects of the painkillers again. My head feels like a balloon and my balance is off kilter. Shit. I look up and when I see that the tunnel ceiling is less than 6 inches over my head, claustrophobia freezes me for a moment. The ceiling is not high and there's barely enough room for Dennis and me to walk side by side. His eyes are half closed and he looks on the verge of passing out again. It's okay, I tell him. We're almost done. A little further, okay? He shakes his head and says, come on, Dennis. He shakes his head and says, I'm sorry, Roger, but I don't think I can go any further. Did Strickland give him pain pills? She gave me painkillers, but I don't think she gave him any, even though he's the one who needs them most. I lower him to the floor as easily as I can and let him rest. I'll be back, I tell him, hoping it's true. The switch should be down here somewhere. I give Dennis one last look and then start down into the tunnel ahead of me. I'm gonna shoot him, guys. This is my last shot, but I'm gonna shoot him. I look back to the man and wince. I know it's the right thing to do, but my finger resists. With a roar of disgust, I level the gun towards his head, turn my eyes away, and then pull the trigger. Your aim is true. The man crumples lifelessly to the ground. Smash the glass. That was something right that I did last time. Spring for the lever, yes. I put all my strength into my legs the moment the monster in front of me draws back its eel-like arms to grab me. I pivot backwards. Do I not have any ammo left? Yeah, because I used my last shot and I do, that's right. So thankful I broke the glass. I grabbed the lever. Okay, I'm pretty sure I did not save Dennis. I think he died. I don't know, it just left me on a cliffhanger. The world goes white and then there are pinpoints of stars everywhere. Yeah. I'm gonna head to the orange world this time. You decide to head to the orange world. I try to focus my mind on heading towards the orange world, not knowing what to expect. My breath escapes me for a moment. Everything is dark and peaceful, and nothing hurts. It's just a clone of our world, but orange. That's weird. With breath back inside my body, I gasp and open my eyes. I'm back. Back at the logging site. How? I'm not sure. Did the shimmers react to the implosion of the switch? Some other accident? I have no idea. I slip right away and become instantly dizzy. Dennis, I say. I have no reason to think that he survived whatever happened in that tunnel, but there's some sort of certainty that gets me to my feet. I wonder if I am somehow back in time before we found the facility. But what happens next makes me realize that can't be true. As I start walking forward, I feel tremor in the ground. Somewhere off in the distance, I hear a metallic groan. It's being ripped apart, yeah. There's no way Barksdale survived. Good riddance. I stumble a bit. When I do, I see the body on the forest floor. Dennis. How is he here? Did he get caught in the shimmers as well? I decide I don't care and scramble over to him. Dennis, can you hear me? Fuck yeah, I saved Dennis. Yeah, he says, the slightest twitch behind his eyes, and for a moment that's good enough for me. To my left, through a tangle of partially destroyed trees and woodland, a pillar of smoke begins to rise into the air. We've made it out of the facility alive, and that, I suppose, is the most important thing. Something feels off in a way that I can't quite explain. It's then, as I look up and notice the sky, that starts to sink in. Yeah. They're not where they should be, guys. Because I went to the orange world. Oh well. There's something different about it, something not right. The sky does not belong here. It is a sky of oranges and blues. Stars pulse in and out as if alive. The colors of this sky seem to breathe as if they were trying to inhale the tops of the spruce trees. I see those colors all knitted together and living. My stomach rolls and rises up in my throat. What the hell have I done? Shit. That's a peculiar ending. Alright, so I guess that's that ending. I'm gonna try one more time to see if I'm gonna go into the facility the normal way and make Dennis stay. And if he doesn't stay, like he follows me anyways, then I'll just call it quits. Did you try to call Frank? Dennis asked. I know he had his cell on him today. Not yet. Luckily I still have some battery left. I pull up my cell and call Frank, happy I didn't make that call to Dennis earlier. It rings but he doesn't pick up. But then I hear his phone go up behind the stack of logs, so Dennis and I give each other a look. As the phone goes to voicemail, I hang up and we walk back behind the logs to find Frank's phone on the ground, abandoned. We look around for Frank but find nothing, not a single trace. is then that I noticed something really odd, a 10-foot wide hole in the ground right where the phone was. But there's no stray piles or moved dirt or rocks. Alright, that's cool. Oh shit. So, we're gonna check out that sound. Yeah, I'm gonna leave him here. You decided to leave Dennis behind. Okay, I'll go alone, I say. You stay here and try to hang on. I'll try and find someone. Anyone. I give Dennis a final look, sensing that this could be a big mistake. He's looking at me like he's terrified of me now, making a moan in his throat. I turn away and start moving through the woods quickly. With Dennis all alone, I need to find the crew and get help right away. Alright, so this is something I didn't do last time. I did leave Dennis behind, but I'm going to actually look at the light. It's worth taking a look. I walk over to the guardrail and peer down below. This is where that strange hum is coming from. It looks like some kind of power generator, I think, but not like any I've ever seen, and really, that's not saying much. There are tanks and pipes and valves, sure, but there's just something odd about it. It looks out of place, like it doesn't belong. Eventually, I notice the main pipe coming out of the top. As my eyes trace along it, just disappears into a black floating mass. I rub my eyes and look again. The pipe goes up into a sphere, but within the sphere it is the deepest darkness I've ever seen, and the area around it seems twisted. Almost like a rip in space. At this point, I decide that I don't know much about whatever this thing is, but I don't like being near it. I step away and take off down the tunnel again. Oh shit, this is new. As I head further in the tunnel, I reach another platform. I'm looking, trying to process where I am now, when I suddenly hear the rapid footfalls of someone running towards me. They're sprinting this way from the dark side of the tunnel, and fast. I can't see anything, but their footsteps echo towards me. Having not seen or heard anyone else in here, I have no idea. I'm gonna hide and attack, whatever. Thinking fast, I duck under the platform and hide in the shadow. I wait for a few seconds as the runner gets closer and closer, still cloaked in the dark. At the moment when they're about to come into the light, I lunge at them. We both go down and roll as an exhausted breath escapes them. From the grunting, I can tell it's definitely a man. I end up on top and have him pinned to the ground. It's then that I can finally see his face. I can't believe my eyes. It's Dennis. Shit! Dennis, what the hell are you doing down here? I left you up at the logging site. I immediately release my grip and help him up. Oh my god, Roger, it's you. I was about to have a heart attack. What the hell, man? I'm sorry, I say, gulping in air. My heart is racing. I didn't know it was you. How'd you get down here, I ask, and why are you down here? You didn't seem to fit the move. He bends over and puts his hands on his knees, breathing heavily as I can see his gash on his side is inflamed now. It's not safe up there, he says, as though that explains everything. I started running to get away and ended up here. Bullshit! He should have ran to the highway. What the fuck? Why isn't it safe? I was waiting for you where we last spoke, and then I heard something in the woods. Shit. At first I thought it was a clear radio of some crackling static, but it was much louder, like some kind of demon. It got louder and louder and freaked me out. I just started running. I fell into some kind of sinkhole. The damn ground just fell out from under me. Yeah, like where we came in the last ending. Ended up in this weird hallway that led me to this tunnel. He pauses as if evaluating whether what he's just said is crazy or not. Well, you're here now, and honestly I'm glad to see you, I say. What do you say we check out this platform and see if we can get some answers? Alright guys, we're back to the section with the barrels. I'm gonna see if I can save Amy and Dennis. Help Amy first. She has an injured leg. She can't walk. He chose to help Amy first. I take a deep breath and sprint back out into the open among the flames and the heat. Right away I start taking blind shots at Barksdale. He fires back only once and the shot goes off into the growing fire around me. I take one more shot and then reach down for Amy. She's coughing and looks dazed. Her leg has been burned and scraped badly. You okay? I ask. She only nods as I help her to her feet, with the fire licking up around us. I help her towards the elevator, narrowly avoiding the fire and a hot death. Somewhere through the smoke, Barksdale shoots into the flames. He gets another shot off as he's around the corner to where the elevator waits. Amy leans against the wall, gasping for breath. Drenched in sweat and feeling like I've just escaped a furnace, I know I have to try to get Dennis as well. So, Amy's safe. I wheel around, gun aimed into the smoke, and head back out. I only get a single step before I see Dennis slowly getting to his feet. I open my mouth to call out to him, but another explosion right beside him cuts me off. He's engulfed in flames. It's over. Shit. I scream and run out for him, but Barksdale is firing me again. After everything, Dennis is gone because of Barksdale, a raving lunatic. I scream at him as hatred and rage rise up in me. I want to rip Barksdale to shreds, no matter the cost. Kill Barksdale, definitely. I start unloading bullets in Barksdale's direction like I'm on a warpath. Barksdale, you son of a bitch! I scream as I start to head in his direction. I barely hear what sounds like a laugh start to emerge out of him when I'm jerked back behind the cover of the elevator entrance. He's gone, Roger. I'm sorry, he's gone, Amy pleads, forcing me behind cover. I resist her for a moment and then give in, just as another deafening shot takes out a chunk of concrete a foot over my head. The best way to get back to Barksdale for what he's done is to flip that switch, Amy says. My nerves are drenched in fear and adrenaline. When I reach up to press the call button on the elevator, it feels like I'm watching someone else do it. As Amy and I step inside, the motors on the elevator squeal like dying dogs. The elevator slides down, the light from the flange gives way to complete blackness. And now it's just me and Amy. Dennis is gone. I'm assuming Amy's gonna do the same thing. She's gonna sit down because she's too tired. But I'm gonna play through this just to see. I'm gonna have to play through this game again to see if I can do anything else. She can't go any further, yeah. She nods and I help her down. She shudders her pain and she eases into a sitting position on the floor. Thanks, she says. I swear she'd be at the end of this hallway. Strickland was right. I look up and when I see the tunnel ceiling is less than 6 inches over my head. Alright guys, I'm just gonna end this playthrough. I'm gonna reset. And I'm gonna try one more time. And if I don't get it, then that'll be it for this game. Alright guys, this is our last attempt to try to save Dennis and Amy. Instead of telling them to go on it, instead of waiting on that, I'm just going to run ahead, because I think that's what triggers my decision on which can to shoot. And if not, then I give up. Yeah, I'm going to run away. Before I can do anything, a shot comes from the isolation chamber. It's immediately followed by a pinging sound and a massive wall of heat. When I look back for Dennis and Amy, the scene is not promising. Neither of them seems to be able to move on their own. Dennis is lying flat on his face. Amy's about 20 feet away from him. She's wailing in pain and clutching her leg. Alright, I don't think I can save both of them, guys, honestly. I'm just gonna call the game quits here. I won't be revisiting this game. I think I've played it through thoroughly. But I am interested if there is a way to save both of them. If there is, let me know in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching. I think I'm gonna play Dungeon Nightmares soon, if you guys are interested in that, and some other indie horror games. If you guys like this video and you like the channel, make sure to subscribe and check out any other videos that I make, and I greatly appreciate it. So, thank you guys and have a great day.